Hello everybody and welcome back to Jigsaw Stuff, and today we're starting the build on the Dongfeng model or DF model, White Shark or Great White Shark. I'm not sure if there's great in there or not, but we'll deviate between names. One of the problems with this kit is the fact that it's going to involve a lot of gluing. A lot of the parts will glue on. There's not much that bolts on. So it means it's going to take longer because you can only do so much gluing before you're having to wait for it to go off. First bit of gluing I'm going to do to get out of the way and make sure I've done it is we're going to use some of Beacon foam tack. The important bit here, stay flexible, never brittle. And I'm going to be running this down here, down all of these, both sides, down all of these, and then I've got this to help sort of squeeze it, flatten it out, and I've got tissue somewhere to wipe off any extra. I might even use masking tape actually. Fucking noises. Masking tape so we can rip it off, which will make life even easier. The idea is that the foam tack is going to help strengthen up these hinge points without using tape or anything like that, because I mean some of them really are. This one's I think the worst. So I'll get that done. I'm going to do it for all surfaces, as I say, and then I was going to look at what we've had to glue, gluing more bits of the fuselage, gluing some bits of the fuselage together. But I thought what I'm best doing to make sure I don't miss out any pieces that I then can't get in is go through the bag of bits. I've already learned something on the motor mount. Go through the bag of bits, learn what needs to go where, and make sure when you're going to install them. Like I don't know if I should install this carbon rod before or after. If I've not said already, there's no manual. There's no manual for this. I'm having to sort of work out how to do it myself, and there doesn't seem to be any build videos of this. It's going to be me that paves the way. Yeah, so there isn't even like any manuals on AliExpress. This used to be sold on Banggood, but it was 3 times the money. So I don't think they sold many. So I need to start with the foam tack stuff. I'll show you me possibly doing one, and then I'll proceed to do all the others on my own. And then we'll look into the bits. So that's the plan for today. Let's get you in a tripod and we'll start working on the first wing. Okay, so this is the wing we're going to start with, and what we're going to start with, on the wing we're starting with, is just putting this on. If you're wondering why I'm wearing such dodgy looking clothing, it's so that I don't get glue on anything nice. I'm doing this to make sure that we don't get any glue on the actual wing where we don't want it. Beginning to wonder if maybe we should put in the bits of wood first, actually. Get them glued in at the same time. Because I try and be efficient on how you glue stuff in, and I've decided that I'm going to be efficient on how I glue stuff in. So, in our bag of bits, we have a long strip of these, which are for your horns to go in. Now looking at this, see these are 90 degrees, these are rounded, and if you look on here, they're rounded in these corners, so I'm going to presume it goes in like that. So, nicely and simply, I'm going to give these a quick rough up with a perma grip. And those textures aren't going to get solid, I'm also going to use that back piece. Sort of get all the burn off more than anything, because it won't stick to the laser cutter burn. Or at least it won't very well, because it sort of sticks to the soot and not the wood, and obviously the soot isn't on there properly. So we can do that. We'll use, even though just, what should I use? What is the question? Should I use, I kind of want to use super glue, I think. So what I'm going to do, just to test it and make sure I'm not going to melt this plane in half, I'm going to cut a little bit of foam out from inside the fuselage that we're never going to see. I'm going to get a little bit of scrap something. That bit has an address on it. Oh God. It's all going a bit tits up. I do Amazon box now, I've taken the label off it. I'll slice that in half. Get some thick super glue. Is it back in here? It is. And I'm going to glue these two pieces together. And myself. Oh God. Oh God. Mistakes have been made. Again, I'm not bothered about how this glues, it's just a test piece. Let's zoom in. Let's see how that reacts with the foam. Well, they're certainly glued to each other. And they don't seem to have melted. I'm not going to do this for like bits of the fuselage or whatever, that sounds like a bad idea. But for stuff like this, it's probably going to be the best way of doing things. So, clear off space again. I'm going to put a nice light thingamabob. There we are. So now that is glued in, we'll go back to where we were before. Hopefully that was a long enough piece. Of course it wasn't. You silly idiot. Let's zoom out a little bit again. Oh, I've got a super lummy thing, so it won't listen to anything. Let me... Again, that's just to help us get a bit of a nicer result. Oops, don't knock over the camera. This phone is just on the side of being a little bit too heavy for this mount sometimes. Right, so we've got foam tack, we have our stick of truth. Trying to see if I can get the lid off the foam tack. Oh, that's a few in my mouth. Right, I'm gonna run a small bead of foam tack. What I'm going to do is just, I'm going to say, I've already got glue fingers, so I'm just going to so I've got the tissue ready beforehand. So what this is going to do is create a really nice strengthened joint. Because it's flexible, we'll have to sort of like crack it a little bit to get it to work, but that should be a lot better. And then if we've got a little on, we don't have to be worried about it being upside down. We can then do this side real quick. Only just a long enough bit of masking tape. Using up the last bit of this crappy masking tape, really. Is the main job here. Foam tack again. And a bead. It doesn't have to be a very big bead, obviously, because I'm going to smooth most of it out. And I'm actually stopping a little bit from the end because we're going to bring all the glue to that end. So then if we in fact, actually, I've poked through the foam at some point. It's that thin. Okay, so I need to learn to be a bit more gentle. That's something that we've learned. And another thing, of course, is if this doesn't work, because obviously as long as it doesn't go so wrong that it glues up the aileron, that's obviously a nightmare. You can always fix things. I mean, even if we glue it up, cut it off and hinge it properly, or if this glue idea doesn't work, we can use the engage brain. We can engage our brain and think of something. We can use tape. So that's one wing done. I think what I might do now actually is use another piece of tape just to cover that up. There we are, and then it's not going to get stuck to our tissue. So that is one wing done. I'm going to do the same thing to the rudder, the other wing, and the elevator. So I'm going to get that done, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so these are now gluing, as gluing as they are going to be. And what I decided to do is get out all of the wooden parts so we could see what goes where. So in terms of for gluing in the fuselage, there are a few bits that we need to glue in before we glue the fuselage sides together. That is not one of them. That is just a carbon tube for the centre. We'll get rid of the two connectors. I don't think we need to do any of that. That's for the canopy. That's for the middle of the fuselage. You can go in after. These are all to do with the motors. I'll explain them in a future video. These two pieces we need to put in before. These two pieces we need to put in before. This is sort of similar to that piece that goes over there. That is for the canopy. Again, I'll explain that in another video. And these are also for canopies. So these are actually the only four bits that we need to put in beforehand. And we should be able to put these in fairly easily without using special glue or whatever. We can just super glue them in, I think. So they're obviously going to need sanding, and where they go is this piece needs to be dropped down into the bottom of there, all the way down to the bottom, and then this piece needs going in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand them up, glue them up, and stick it down, and then yeah, we should be fine. Because we're doing it on this side, if there's a bit of excess glue, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Just bear with me. Okie dokie. So ignore that piece. That piece is not really required at the minute. But all of these joints have now been glued. Obviously, so I've taken all the masking tape off. They're not fully set, but they're on their way, and they do feel a lot better already. And then on the fuselages, you can see that's glued in. That's for the wing bolt. So that doesn't take as much stress, really. It's just to stop it squishing into the foam. But then these ones that hold those connectors for the wings are going to take quite a lot of welly and whack, so I've glued it in really, really quite solid. So that is where I'm going to leave it for part one. Again, this is going to be a model that probably has lots of smaller parts, just to the way that it's been built. Although the way that it has gone together so far, I don't think it'll be too long. But it's nice that I've got this, I've got the mini drac on, both at very different stages. I've got other plays that I can work on that I need to, you know, modify and update and stuff. And that's kind of a good thing. You don't want too many projects so that you've got like nothing to fly or the house cluttered. But the way it is at the minute, I don't think it's too bad. So, that's a horrible noise. So, I'm going to leave it here. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. Helps a lot. Remember to subscribe. I've got glue all over my hands. Subscribe if you want to see some more of this, as well as all the other shenanigans on the channel. And if any questions, comments, feedback, or anything, leave it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Well, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.